Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Candid Culture. How are you doing? Good evening, Misha.
Hey y'all, hey y'all. Thank y'all for joining us today. So
Yes,
how are you, Crystal?
I'm doing okay. I had a pretty good Sunday. It's been very gloomy here in Atlanta, so it's just like overcast and gloomy. So it's just been a house day for me and Penny. Me and she better act right.
Is that I never asked her name. I didn't know that was her name. That's so cute.
It's Penny Strong. It's Penny Strong, like
That
Penny.
is
Penny Strong.
so
Yeah,
cute. I
Penny
never
Strong.
knew that.
I wanted because y'all seen how tiny she is, so I have her living. I said no,
Yeah.
let me give her the name Strong to live above her size. The sad thing is,
Aww.
you see how our parents influence us. I want to name her Envy or Indie, like independent or something like that. And my mother was like, "No, I like Penny," and I said, "You just
I
don't like."
like it too.
Okay, good. So y'all, let's get it going. Let's get it going. We had so yeah. Let's start. Ooh, this was actually a pretty subdued. This we got a lot to talk about, but let's go ahead.
Mhm.
So y'all, we starting with Ms. What's her name? AP. And this is the not deliberation, the exit. What did you think about
Mhm.
how they chose to do this exit, Misha?
I wasn't surprised. I said that the last review, they're going to keep Precious for entertainment
Mhm.
purposes, and they're going to. I said either if they eliminate Precious, they're going to eliminate AP too. It's going to be a double elimination, but they're either like going to keep Precious for entertainment or send her home, and they did. But I don't think they were necessarily wrong for this. We saw her self-sabotaging a lot this season. Every scene we see her in, she's talking about being a widow, and I'm like, girl, I'm over it. I'm done. So, I mean, it is what it is. And it was like I don't know. I don't know if people just like this being on the show or what, but when she was like, well, I wasn't expecting to go home, but I didn't have any romantic connections here. I'm like, girl, why'd you want to stay then? What were you trying to do? So it is
Okay,
what it is.
so I do have to follow my sword a bit. I actually absolutely thought it was going to be Precious. And then after you and I talked, you were like, no, AP talks about her being a widow a lot. And I actually thought that that was a little bit of editing, but I think she still did the talking. She still talked about it. So
Mhm.
we saw that. And also I feel like Precious was kind of one of the day oneers. Not kind of, she is one of the day oneers.
Yeah, she is.
So
Uh-huh.
I feel like the guys not knowing AP that long and the fact that she, when they did try to get to know her, she talked about her being a widow a lot. So I saw what you guys were saying. So they let her go. Um and I agree though. They kept AP to see how she was about to move. I absolutely agree with that. What did Z say? This was the wrong show for AP. That group don't understand being a widow to widow. Methinks. I agree with you. They don't understand it, um, and they couldn't get past it, and she couldn't get past it, so they let her go. So yeah.
Yeah. I get that part too because the nickname they don't it's not ready to love is ready to hoo
Yep.
hoo,
Right.
and
It's
so
ready
this
to.
was not really, I don't feel like this was the place for her to be because she had kind of has to reopen her heart
Hmm.
and go through the process again. And like I've said like plenty of times, I know how it is being single for a long time and then having to adjust into like getting to know people, dating, and it can be kind of a rough like transition, which I felt she was having two amongst mourning her late husband. But yeah, I just don't think it was the right place for her because I don't think any of these men probably gave her the security she needed to feel safe and open. So
I agree
yeah,
with
it
that.
is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the. I have an opinion on that safe and security role of somebody else too. So we're gonna talk about that later. Um, Monique King said the women looked at the widow stories of Joel and Walter as a sad love story. The men didn't want to hear it. To hear that, I see your
That's true.
I see your point. And this, as you just said, Misha, the you're a widow. I feel like if you are ready, and I do think that she's ready to love, but this is a very accelerated process. Being how what she's gone through, she needs to take her time to get to know somebody. This is too much of an accelerated process um for her next step. I think. I could be
Mhm.
wrong, but that's what I think. Okay, so this truth or dare. What did you think about the truth or dare?
I agree with Carmen for once. It was messy, like, but it was hilarious seeing everyone's reaction to the dares and the truths. I'll say that, but hey, it was interesting. It was funny though. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too. Of course, what's her name? Joy would go right over to Clifton, and Carmen being surprised about it. Well, I guess Carmen's one of the newbies. Not guess. I know she's one of the newbies, right? So she thought, girl, you thought that Clifton fixing your plate was an end? Did you think that
Right.
sealed the deal? Like, that's what I thought. Oh yes, he's fixing my plate, and when it's time for us to get to know each other. Oh please, it's a plate. He probably fixed the Kia's plate and Precious's plate and somebody else's plate that night. It's not
But
that big.
I like that. I was like, go ahead, because there's so many debates on the woman should fix the man's plate and all that stuff. So for him to like go out of his way and do that, I thought that was like super, super sweet. And I like that norm
I
changing
do. I
in
do
the
like that
sense
norm.
where like I can fix your plate, you can fix my plate,
Mhm.
whatever. It shouldn't be the woman always has to cook, always has to clean, always,
I
I like
agree.
what is his name? I was about to call him Carmen. Clifton.
Listen,
I I like that.
I do like the fixing of the plate, but I don't think that she put that much stock into it after she's only been here 2 weeks.
Right. I
That's
don't
what I
think that
think.
like everyone knows what it is. They
It's
knew Joy and Clifton, they knew
fine.
Tori and Sabrina had a strong connection. So
Mhm.
to think because you came in and you had one conversation, you fix your plate, that's like now you number one. I was like, no, I don't know where she got that from.
That's what I think. I think the fixing of the plate is fine and is very cute if
Mhm.
especially if they were on a one-on-one date or if you were coming over to my house and we cooked together and everything and he fixed my plate, that's one thing. But on a group setting like this, I was like, I didn't think any of that. I didn't put as much stock into it as she did. So, and of course, and Joy ran over to Clifton. So I thought that was
Mhm.
actually very cute. I did. I like that. Um, and then we just talked about Carmen's the look on her
This
face.
was kind of karma though, because she did the same thing, not in the same thing, but like the same sort of thing to Danica, what is her name? Dakia
Yeah,
last week. And that's exactly how Dakia felt last week when you came in there when she was having her moment with Eric. So
I totally
oh well.
agree. That is so funny. And that could have been just an edit or something like that, but the fact they got that and they were able
She
to
was staring for a long time. Crystal, they panned that camera back to her a couple times and she was still looking like
because was this right before I think you got in the next clip when they asked her a question. They said, "Is this
mm-hmm.
crop that is here?" Or are you really feeling somebody? And she said, yeah, I'm really feeling a couple of people. I feel like
Lies.
right. I think she was really feeling Clifton, and she was really feeling who, Paul or somebody else.
No, you got okay. She's picking people,
Mhm.
men that have strong connections with other women. I think she likes the competition.
Mhm.
She's going after Clifton, who has a strong connection with Joy. Now she's going after Popo, who has now a strong connection with Christina.
Everybody.
So yes, she goes after Eric after he's talking to Takia. You don't know that man for years and you didn't make a move, but you're gonna wait until Takia's in like I think she's competing. She's very
No, but you do have a
I'm
point
talking it.
though. I don't disagree with you because and we're going to see it a little later that she said that I've known Paul for years. I've known Paul for a long time. I think she said the word a long time, but we've never been out on a date. And I'm like,
She
what?
knew Paul too.
That's what she said entering the
So she knew Paul and Eric.
Eric. Yes. So entering the date, entering when she said I made sure and dressed really good for him and the girls were
Yeah.
out. She said, I've known him for a long time, but we never went out on a date. I was like, what? So you do have a point there. But she said, oops, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Getting the mouse. Okay. So let's talk about that. Wait, did you get her nibbling on the ear? I don't think so.
I feel like I did, unless I went
Well,
out of
no.
order.
Okay. All right, because that would have been a good get. But
Where
so
did it
let's
go?
I didn't
Oh
see it.
well. Anyway,
Oh, there it is. I'm
there it
sorry.
is.
I told you I need mouse control. And then, because I looked at these pictures before we came into the live, so I was like, I thought I saw it. So okay, you go ahead because I want to hear what you because I remember you had it in your show the other day. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I mean, it is what it is. Um, Here's the thing, we don't see a lot on the show. Like my whole thing is persistence and consistency, and we don't really see that from either Demetrius or Tori. So it's hard to say, well, Sabrina should be with Tori. She should have kissed Tori's ear. She should. We don't really know. Like I feel like with this love triangle, we really don't know what's going on. But like for everyone to say, well, I thought she was gonna go to Tori. So obviously everyone else is seeing something that we're not seeing. So I don't know, like, because from what we see on the camera, like neither one of them seem consistent, assertive. So I don't know. It was just like, okay, that's what she chose. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this.
So
I really don't.
I agree with you that we're seeing some things that are choppy because we didn't even know that Tori was into her until last weekend with the cupcakes.
Not that much.
Well, the
No.
cupcake game. Well, we had no idea. We definitely haven't seen Demetrius because Demetrius was on a bus for an hour and didn't say word. So to me, you're right. It's all about intention and it's all about, making sure and being intentional. But
Hmm.
Tori, even though we had a long discussion about these two cupcakes instead of four, we had a long discussion about that. But at least I feel like he's been, we know that they're doing more. They're talking on the phone. They're doing more, right? And Demetrius, she even said, I feel like Demetrius has fallen off until they got to this retreat. So I wonder.
Yeah.
I do think this is what I do think though. Some and I think I asked this question last week. Is she the type of woman that likes emotionally unavailable men? Because is
Mm,
and the reason I say that is because we
I
see in the next scene, we see that although I think that Tori's walk off was an edit. Sorry, y'all.
uh-oh. Okay. We'll let Crystal get Penny together. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, my whole take on this whole thing. Sorry. My whole take on this whole thing. Um, I don't know if I don't hate to misspeak because we're not really seeing a full representation of everyone, but Sabrina kind of comes off like she's not used to nothing. Like the fact that she seemed impressed with that little talk with Demetrius on the rock. She seemed like overly impressed with the cupcakes. So to me, she kind of comes off like she's not used to nothing, or she's like she I don't want to say she doesn't know her worth, because again, we don't know these people. We haven't seen much of the three of them. But to me, that's what I'm getting. And it could be maybe that she's attracted to emotionally unavailable men, but I don't think she knows that. Like, I just, like, she comes off as if she just don't know no better type of thing. I don't know.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
this is
what
what I
we're,
think.
you back
So
to.
first of all, sorry y'all, sorry y'all. The dog saw another dog. So, but yeah.
Oh,
Baby,
child.
the dog, she's 5 pounds, like which she thinks she's a Doberman. But anyway, so when I say that, and I could be totally wrong, I don't know the woman, but I
Right.
think there are some women that like men that are like quiet and reserved because they seem mysterious and they got to work a little hard. They like a little bit of a challenge. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Dimitri made such an impact on her the first night at the cocktail party that she's really wanting to get that back. She even said Demetrius is he's that smooth, quiet guy, whereas Tori is that fun guy that what did she said two adjectives with Demetrius and two with Tori, and she said I like those both those attributes. But Demetrius made such an impact on her the first night that she's still gravitating towards him. I do hear your point that it's not that somebody said that she likes, I think it was Callie girl. Like successful, well-spoken men like Demetrius. Tori
Mm.
is a realtor in DC. He's got some success behind him. So he's not successful, but his look, his it just probably comes off a little bit more of the fun guy. And so I do think that she likes that quiet, reserved person. That's what I think. Um, and I'm wondering is to me, Sabrina Soul said it. A lot of the guys on her season, and I think that bodes true for a couple of, at least three of the guys on this season, they're all waiting for the women to come to them. They're all,
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of them are.
I think that he is one of them. I think that
I
Demetrius,
mhm.
I think Demetrius and Laverne, absolutely. And a little bit of Wiley, but I think that that's a different reason for Wiley, and we'll talk about that later. But I think that Demetrius and especially Laverne are those reserved guys that are used to a different type of setting, and this is not the necessarily they're not want a women to come to or them to do the move, making the first move. It's um it's a little foreign to them. That's what I think. And
Yeah.
Tori's been very intentional. So but we can just we just agree all the time. So so yeah, that's my opinion.
No, I get it because
Mhm.
because when you say emotionally unavailable, I thought about Winter. Because Winter openly admitted that she always goes for emotionally unavailable men. But
Mm.
I think there's a difference, like there's more of an awareness that Winter had. Like she knew that she was being kind of second fiddle to Joy. That's why she
Mhm.
asked Jay to kiss me on camera. Like you be kissing me in the room secretly. So I felt like with Winter, she was a little bit more aware. Sabrina, I don't see that awareness. Like, I don't know. I don't like, so it just comes off like she's easily impressed. Like, she just doesn't know no better. Like, she doesn't know, like, she thinks that this is the best effort or type of thing. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
And
But
I
we
get
will
your
see.
point. You and I had the same discussion, girl. It's just cupcakes. But just like I said with I'm not saying that getting the
Oh, little Tori.
right. And so here's the thing. A lot of people were saying, well, what did he do? He didn't. I'm not saying that he leaped tall buildings in a single bound, but I feel like
Right.
he's been a little bit more intentional than Demetrius. I think that he's been a little bit more forward and making his intentions known to her. So, and the funny thing is, you just said it. A lot of the other castmates were saying the same thing. They thought that they were even saying, "Go ahead and go over to Tori." So there must have been
Mhm.
some other reasons. And then when she went over to Demetrius, they were surprised as well. So I think that he's been making a lot of moves. And somebody even said, I feel like it was on Kojo So, that Demetrius only started making moves when he saw that her and Tori.
Tori was separate. Yeah, exactly. I said that too. He
Mhm.
even said, like, he said it out of his mouth. I see Tori and Sabrina over there, so I'm gonna make sure I make an effort. Like, that's not a reason to approach somebody. So
Girl, Tori's not the only man that's got mom
definitely
issues. Girl,
listen. Tori was looking good this
yes,
episode.
I have to
I
say.
don't know what it was. Like, he did a
Mhm.
Dante, like Dante in them silk PJs. This episode finally hit me. Like, I never
Yeah,
thought Tori was fine. This episode, I was like,
I
I
totally
look
agree with you
happy.
on that, Monique.
Okay,
I did.
okay.
Totally agree with you on that. And it's not that I was like, okay, he's attractive, but I was like, okay, whatever. But I was like, well, damn. I totally got. I was like, okay, but
We'll send the picture to you on Monday, Monique, since you
yes,
don't like
exactly, exactly.
to.
But I said, Kenya, not you're not the Tori's not the only man that has mom issues. There's a lot of men that have mom issues. Laverne and
So,
Demetrius may have mom issues,
um,
but we just don't know it because they haven't
interesting.
said that.
That's an interesting
Um,
point. Hmm.
it's easy to mistake his outgoing nature as better than Demetrius being an introvert. And I agree that some women like introverted men. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Hmm.
Um, but I it gives off more of a mystery. It gives off more mysterious that he's a little bit more of an introvert. But
Yeah.
I also think that if he and everybody else said, "Go on and come on over here, come on over to Tori," there had to be some moves that they were
Right. Something was happening that we're not seeing. So I
exact.
definitely think that with Tori and Sabrina.
Mhm. Sabrina clearly has trouble making good decisions when it comes to men. And she
Yes.
kept going back and forth and back and
Look,
forth.
look at little man. Look at man just looking at the ground. This
And when he got up, and I actually think that the get up and walk away, that was one that was a voiceover. He said, "I'm gonna go pack my things." I said, I don't think he actually said that, or he might have said that somewhere else, and they imposed it into that
hmm
scene. But he walked away. I said, he could have been getting up and getting another drink. I said, these editors, I gotta see
He
about
did
hiring
look
them.
upset though. He did look like he was
Oh,
ready to leave because that
he looked
happened. And
like
I was like, that's a lot. So
he
I don't know.
he looked like he was ready to receive that nibble on the ear, and he didn't get it, and now he's double thinking it. Well, we know he's double thinking everything because
he,
the next
he looked
scene.
like the little boys in school, they don't get picked first for the baseball team. He
Mhm.
like the the last one sitting there waiting to get picked.
Because
It's
he thought,
oh my
and he
god.
thought for sure, he thought for sure he was going to get picked. Absolutely, I
But
agree.
do you feel like it's extreme, like his reaction or his emotions? Do you feel like it was a bit much? Like
This is a
I
good
just felt like, why are
question.
you doing all that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So this is a good question, and that this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. This, I definitely think that he should have just let it go. I think that he should
Hmm.
not have played his card, and especially not here. If he wanted to have that discussion that they had at the dinner, then that's one thing. But he just definitely. I think that the walk off was an edit, but I definitely think the look on his face was not an edit. And he should just don't play your card. Don't let her know that it's affected you. This is a dating show. If she wants to have more than one option, let her have that option. Now you know how to move the next time. I definitely think that was
Yeah.
a little bit too much. Not a little bit.
But
It was.
he's kind of, it seemed like I don't know. I don't know if he's necessarily ready to love because his response to that was to just pursue everybody else. And I'm like,
Well,
huh?
we're gonna see next week
Like,
because it's so funny you say that. Well, two things. Well, because Precious and he first, they were their first conversation at the cocktail party, the
Who's
first
off
episode,
the
right?
goose?
But something else was getting on my nerves when somebody said boyish in here.
It's on
Uh,
the screen.
Tori was a bit boyish in his reaction at the table. He kept asking, "Who's your number one?" And I feel like he said it 2 or 3 times. And I said, "That's what the women say. Stop saying that."
Exactly.
So I agree with you on that. I was like, "Oh, she totally is putting you, making this reverse, and um, now take your power back." And that's of course sometimes with something we would say to women, but yeah, take your power back. Um, yeah, Tori seems to wear his heart on the sleeve. I think I like the fact that he was bringing being intentional, although I think he should have had 4 cupcakes instead of 2. Other than that, I just think that, but that's probably they ran out of the boxes with 2. They had a box with 4, and he should have been like, "Shoot, now I got to buy 2 more." But that's it. I think that the cupcakes were sweet. It was a gesture. They're just having nice gestures right now.
I agree with the boyish claim. It's not as bad as Wiley though. It's not as bad as Wiley. Like he still knows how to make a move, but it seems like he
Mhm.
has like boyish expectations. Like he expects like in middle school, I bought you a cupcake. We go
We
together
go
now.
together now.
So like we going to homecoming, prom, we doing it all. And I'm like,
Yes.
that's yeah. I
I,
don't
I hear
yeah.
you. I hear you on that. Okay. He just his smile looks like a Cheshire cat. He just
He is so petty.
he's
This
so
is him
petty.
staring down Wiley like, look,
Yeah.
got her.
Well,
Got
and this is when the people at the table were like 48, 31. Like, what's up? And then she wearing that same type of top that she was wearing last week. But
you know what, Crystal?
the girls are breathing too much. Okay, we need to
Mhm.
talk about Paul. He's so special and not in a good way.
I don't know what it is that is like I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe we're not seeing like his good sides, but I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't see
Um, okay, this is
it.
crazy because I feel like I don't understand. I'm so glad I'm getting all in my head because she did not have a date with Paul. She had a date with Donovan. Thank goodness. Just because her and Paul had this little conversation at the bar, now she's feeling him, and it just was weird. It didn't make any sense to me. I do think, and we've had this discussion on Kojo's show, is that uh, she needs a mature man, a little bit more mature for what she's got a young daughter, she's got a lot going on, and Paul maybe gives her a sense of security. That's what I think. That's all I'm
Social security. That's
right. Say
uh,
that. Say that.
pension. That's what
Pension. That's his
401k. That's
AARP.
what
That's
he
what it
giving
is.
her.
I just don't see it. I just don't get it, and I just don't get it. So, what do you think? And I'll probably think of something else. But yeah, go ahead.
I agree with Jay Antoinette. She is
Right.
looking at like she just seems like she wants someone with money. She wants someone to take care of her daughter. And that like that's what she's like leading with. And like I'm a single mother too, and I wouldn't lead with that. Like I because I would want to get to know that person. I want him to get to know me for who I am. Because at some point the kid's gonna go away to college. It's just gonna be you and him at some point. So you have to like build that connection for yourselves. But she just looked like she is on the hunt for a check. And I don't know. I just don't see nothing
Okay,
Did
so
you
I
say
kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you that uh it's coming off a little like she just wants and I hate saying the word baby daddy, but like she's because I mean maturity is one thing, but there's no way when it really comes well, I don't want to say there's no way because I don't know the man that you guys have all of these things in common. So I just don't see
Mhm.
that. And I saw your show and it's so funny, we're gonna have the date with Donovan. And I feel like her and Donovan had a conversation that we just didn't see because sometimes they'll cut that out because they started Donovan immediately when she sat down, how's your daughter and everything. So I feel like they must have had that conversation before their date, because they definitely went in the conversation full force. So yeah, I just don't see this. I don't see this. And we can't even see her face because we're blinded by other things. And his yellow sweatshirt and hoodie was killing me. So this is Wiley. Go ahead. We're good. I know there's a reason why you put that picture up.
Hmm?
This is
He
why
just like
we're gonna get into a little bit more of Wiley in a
he
second.
just
Go ahead.
he's another boyish one. Like in this picture, he just looked like he is pleading with his mama, like, Mama, I didn't break the vase. It wasn't me. It was like he looks like he's trying to get out of a whooping.
I'm not
But I
normal.
agree. I think he's getting too caught up on the whole um age difference. Like it's not his age. This that is like that is why he wasn't successful in this competition. It's him. Like he's just got this like mumbling, like doesn't fully communicate, he has no depth basically from what we saw. From what we saw, I didn't see any depth. It seemed like he wasn't even really able to hold a conversation. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. But this was
Okay,
him and
so this is what I
response to
think.
Paul being like, see, she likes older men, like type of thing. But it was sad because he got special treatment. Uncle Tommy brought in a whole new female just for him and he couldn't lock it down. He couldn't make the connection. So it's like it's you at this point. Like nobody else got this special treatment. Nobody else like got chance after chance after chance like he did. So it is what it is. I don't know.
Okay, so a couple of things. They brought in Tina, and they said, "Well, we're bringing somebody in younger for you, but you also have somebody younger that has a child. She needs somebody that's a little bit." And I agree that it's not his age; it's
Hmm.
the fact that he comes off. Um, Does he show that he's gonna bring security and protection? Does he give that to
Mm.
you, a single mother? Does he bring that to you? And I feel like with Tina, she needs that. As I don't think it's his age. I think that it's the persona that he gives off. I actually like Wiley. I think that he was underestimated, but I also think that he did not show himself who he really
He
is.
didn't showcase himself. And that's
I
the thing.
totally
Like,
don't think that he showcased himself.
like I'm an introvert. Like if I'm in a setting, I get shy, I get quiet, I'm not outspoken. But if I was to go on a show like this, I would put myself out there because that's what you kind of have to do in this type of scenario. But him, we'll get to, well, yeah, we'll
So,
save
and
that for
it's so
later because
funny.
we'll get
Jeremy
to it.
just said Wiley deserves better. Should have been on last season. I actually think he should have been on the season before that.
The
On
resort?
Kyra, no, the season with Kyra and them. I feel like he should have been on that.
No, I
I
don't
think
see
that
him on none of these seasons.
I just don't think that this was definitely not the ladies for him. There were nobody here for him to make a connection. But I also believe that he just did not showcase himself well. He pulled back. These ladies, the caliber of ladies that they had, he didn't know how to move. And they already had this idea in their head, he's too young. So they already
Hmm.
had this idea and they said that he's too young, so he
Shindy got it. This
what
like
does
this
Cindy
is
say?
what
Read
I
it.
like. This is what
Okay.
I felt.
Riley,
Wiley has never had to try. College girls throw themselves at him now. College is over. He doesn't know how to date. That's what I was getting from him. Like,
I am.
he seems like he's had a life full of situationships, especially since of his like football career. He don't have to try because girls are like, oh, you're in the NFL, blah blah blah. I'm here. Take me as I am. So I feel like he never had to really try. He never had to give depth because of his career. But
I will
yeah,
give
I
you
just
that.
felt like that's what it's giving because I don't
I
think
think
he knows what trying to make a connection is. I think that's why he can go on
I
dates with Christina and go, look at you trying to match me. Look at you, not you, trying to match me the
I
whole
totally
date.
agree
I'm like,
that
dang,
he.
I know you know more words than that, Wiley. Like, come on.
I
Like,
totally agree that he has had a lot of experiences where, he's probably had women throw themselves at him. And now, where's the time where he's got a little work and he's got to put himself out there and speak up? He didn't know how to speak up. He's not a closer. He's definitely not a closer. He's definitely not somebody that knows how to be intentional. And he's and I was going to say he's 31, but he's not 31, he's 34. So in this circumstance, he needs to be intentional. He needed to put himself out there. And somebody said that, like,
mhm.
he's always smiling. I like the smiling, but he's keeping it light. Is he
I
being
don't like this.
is he being
I don't like the
intentional?
smiling, the staring with no words. Like, if you're
Right.
gonna smile, say why you smiling.
Right.
Like, say why you staring. If but just to smile and giggle, and no, no.
Just like what's her name? Joy said he's always looking at me like he wants to say something, but then he doesn't. Like,
Right,
smiling Wiley. Okay, so you're smiling, you're keeping it light, but let's talk about this. You guys brought on a lady that has a 2-year-old. Is he so what that he's 31? Is he somebody that's going to be a provider for that 2-year-old? Are you seeing it? Oh well,
can he be a mature father figure
I
for
just really
a
think
2-year-old?
Wiley
Are
is
you gonna
a
tell
shy
a 2-year-old
dude.
sit
He
down,
gets
or is
tongue
she
tied.
gonna say,
Wiley's
"Shut
like,
up, you ain't my daddy"?
no, I agree.
Like,
Yeah, is he a father figure? Yeah, I totally agree. I think that
right,
he's not giving off the persona of somebody that's going to be a provider and give you that security. So
right.
yeah, so I no, I that's why I just corrected myself. I think he's 34, 33. He's 33, and Precious is 34.
30 something, child. I don't know.
Yeah. Um.
Hmm.
Hold on. I wanted to go to somebody else's. Okay, we'll keep going. Because I can go back to the Paul stuff in a second. Okay. So Precious was trying to say CYA. Precious was trying to save her butt. She was trying to do some correction. She was trying to, what did you think of and I was like, why? Why are you even talking to him? You don't like him? But I know
It
why.
was giving like, okay, like, oh, he must be the new supervisor at the job. Let me go butter him up. So I don't know if she thought he had some type of power because he did the last elimination as far as he presented who was going to be eliminated. But what was more so bothering me was that Precious was still hoarse. I was like,
I
why?
was
So
I was
that
thinking
was
the same thing. I
there.
was like, girl,
I
gargle. What
didn't
is
even hear
happening?
all that she was saying, but she definitely tried to like spin the block on Demetrius. I'm like, y'all already had this discussion on the grass in the heat. We already saw it. Like, why? I don't know. Maybe she has a better explanation, but I was just like, yeah, what was the point of this? I don't know.
So because Demetrius was the one to say who was going home, that doesn't mean that he is the end all and be all. He just so why did you approach him because he's the one that said your name at the beach or at the retreat? I was like, this is silly. And she was like, I'm really trying to, everybody thinks I'm a party girl. I was like, that's their nice way of saying, girl, slow down. We don't even we can't even get to know you because of the way you're acting. That's what that was doing. But
Mhm.
um, she's like, because I'm not a party girl and I want you guys to see every side of me. And it's so funny. I think I was in Sabrina's live and somebody else was saying that that's kind of who she is when she walks into a room, that you know she's there. But then, okay, if that's it, but then you're also very accomplished, very intelligent woman. Show that other side of you. Um, he was judgy. Demetrius acting like somebody's mentor. I actually don't even think he was doing that. It seemed like he was just trying to get away from her. It seemed like he
He has a condescending tone with her. Like even at the pool party, he had a condescending tone. Like that was a child he needed to like mentor. Like you don't do that. You don't do this type of thing. So I did see like sense a little bit of it, and I did think him like handing out the clocks at the last elimination, or like acting like he was an America's Next Top Model. Well, the person's picture I show, step forward. I think that went to his head that he got to do that. But
I don't even think
yeah,
that that's a job that he regrets signing up for. Um,
you
Jeremy,
know,
I ain't gonna tell you,
narcissistically.
I am in here. I got to show it. I got to. Oh my God! I guess y'all can call me messy tonight. Read it, Misha.
Where's we add in 12 years on Precious because of this. Who's we? She did this to herself. Like, listen, every time she walked through the door on a scene, I'm like, I know she switched her hair. I know she switched. And it's that doggone part still be there on the side of her head. And I'll be like,
Girl. And then poor thing, she was so hot and sweaty at the retreat. And in that part, it was, oh gosh. Whoo, girl. Um,
right, I totally see the God complex with Demetrius. I think people think it's only Laverne, but I see it with Demetrius too.
now stop insulting Cicely Tyson. Stop it. Cicely Tyson's great. Um, okay.
This was sad.
It
This
is
was sad.
him and his jeggings. He knew where he was going. He knew he was going to an obstacle course.
Why are his clothes getting tighter every episode? That's what's bothering me.
It was so bad. Him and them jeggings. I was like, you knew, you knew where you were going, but you, and this also just shows, and it's the thing is, I agree with you, Jeremy. I like Wiley. I think that one, he underestimated himself, and everybody underestimated him. This was not the show for him. The whole thing. Coco, what's her name? I just almost called her Coco. Joy was like, if you want to say something, like time is here. Like speak up, make those moves. Be and he's like, I guess I just was trying to just, get into the process and he was letting people come to him and see who I vibe with. Boy, look. And that's why Joy was like, you need to start making a move. Go ahead.
I was so annoyed, like, cause she was like it was like she was being Auntie Joy and it was nephew Wiley, and it was like just put him in a high chair and spoon feed him the Gerber since like he's not old enough to feed himself. Like that's what it was giving. Like it was so like I was like, come on, Wiley, just do. And I don't even think Joy is attracted to him.
Oh no,
And
she's not.
that's why I feel like Jonesy was saying, like, it feels like she's trying to save him. Like, go ahead, like, say what you need to say to me with your fine self. I'm like, Wiley, God,
It just seemed
like,
like
say a
mentor
complete
or
sentence.
yeah, it seemed like mentor or she was being a mom or an auntie. Like, let me talk to you, let me coax you, let me talk to you about how to talk to these
Like,
ladies.
she literally had the spoon, like, here's the airplane, open
Mhm.
wide, and he still wasn't biting it. And I'm like, it's like he said he got it, but his actions weren't showing like he really, really understood. And honestly, the talk was a little too late. It looked like it was a
I
little too
know.
late. Like he, by
It
the
didn't really
time he
help.
had the talk, it wasn't enough time for him to make the change
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I
like
actually
keep him on
agree
the
with
show.
Jeremy on this. And all the ladies shut him down in the first week about his age. That's what I was saying earlier. All they saw was I was about to say 31 again. All they saw was his age, and they were like next. And so he realized that. He knew that nobody's taking me seriously, and then he got discouraged. We should leave Wiley and his girl her alone. No, I agree. I agree. Him and his jeggings need, it's good that he's going home with his jeggings. Wiley had a growth sprout, a growth spurt. That's what you mean, Mimi. Give them stretch jeans up. Yes, give it up. That's all Wiley knows how to do is compliment, but he has no other substance.
Yes,
That's
that's what's so
exactly, yes.
annoying.
It was so just go to the next thing. And just like what you were saying about his date with what's her name, with Tina, all we saw was okay, we're both wearing green. I felt green today. But did they edit a lot of that date out because there was no substance to that date? Because there was nothing there.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, his body goes. Now I will give you that. Joy's body goes to me. I'm not gonna make that.
All I'm gonna say is Wiley, do not he need to hang dry his clothes from now on. Do not put them clothes in the dryer
Don't do
no
it.
more. Like don't
Don't I agree.
if you put them clothes in the dryer one more time, your seams are gonna bust. Just hang dry, hang them outside.
You still half size bigger. Like it's okay. It's okay to go bigger. It's okay. You still look good. Okay, so I wish you had caught the scene, and we are giving him his props this episode. The the scene of him walking in to this bed, I was like, good guy. I was like, call me. I was like, the scene of him
Ooh,
walking in.
child, I was talking about how to rewind the scene. Lord.
Yes, just the
He
scene
was
of
looking,
him
I don't
walking
know what happened. He just popped up out of nowhere. I never thought he was fine. But this episode, I was like, dang, Tori.
exactly. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, whatever, Tori. And now I was like, okay. I said, even if she about to cut you down, he said, even if I'm about to get turned down tonight, I'm gonna look good doing it. He just made sure.
He
So
was strutting. Like, that's
mhm.
what, because I don't even think Tori is that old. Like, I don't know. I don't think
He's
there's
only
that much of an
39.
age difference between
Right.
Tori and Wiley. But you see the difference in his walk alone. Like, just command the room. Like,
Command the
let
room.
these ladies know you got it going on. Like,
Mhm. Yeah. And I think that, and I do think you guys had a point, is that Wiley got very far with his smile, with that ring, with the outer
with
layers,
his family's legacy, with
family's
his
legacy, with his
career.
name, all
Yes.
of those
Uh-huh.
things. But now with women, and it's time to really have that substance and have that depth. He didn't know how to do it. So go ahead. What did you think of the scene? Hold on one second.
Tori was kind of contradicting himself again. I thought it was a bit much, like when during the truth or dare thing, excuse me, when he was like got up and was like reacting to Sabrina and Demetrius. Here he's like, well, it should just been communicated that you had other connections. And then he says in the same scene, well, I'm traditional. You either rocking with me or you not. I'm like, which one is it, Tori? Like, are you upset you didn't know? Or are you upset that she has more connections? And I think it's she has more connections. And I think he felt like I don't know if it was about Sabrina, like if he's just that into Sabrina, or if it's like, oh shoot, she has other connections. I might get kicked off the show. I need to go talk to other people. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a little bit of both. I agree with you that he it's almost like he thought, well, she asked me to dinner, so she must like me. But when he's saying, I wish I'd known that you guys were that close, and I'm real traditional. If you rocking with me, you rocking with me. It hurt his feelings. Just honestly, just be honest. It hurt your feelings. You thought that you had a bigger connection with
Right.
her, and you thought that she was the one. But he also was like, I better not play a Camille. I better pull back. And just like you said, I better like move a little differently. And he's like,
Hmm.
okay, I don't want to get kicked off just yet. I need to just see what else is out there. I was putting all my eggs in this basket. Now I need to move a little differently. Um, and I think that she as well. She was like, she's not sure about Demetrius. She likes Demetrius. She likes that, like we said, mysterious, introverted person, but she ain't sure about him totally either. So she don't know how to move yet. So she's like, well, please, like, let's, let me go with the process and everything, and I'll just let you know. But honestly, and I think you said this on your show, just the fact that she said, um, well, I will let you know, I won't, so you won't be blindsided next time. Like, girl, why would, no, you're not. You're just trying to save yourself, and because you feel a little bad. So uh, I
And
think
I don't, that's a part of the process. Like, I don't think you need to go and report every and anything. Even on previous seasons when it was like, well, I didn't know that you kissed her. You told me you weren't going to kiss anyone else on camera. And I'm like, that is so stupid. Just
right.
do like what you're there to do. So I just, to kind of put like these, like, trying to put like these loose ropes on her, like, well, okay, but come back and tell me. No.
I agree that he locked in too early, and he thought that she locked in too. But he does. I think that she said that he's just got this energy and a little bit of a sexual energy. They, you know, during the
Shoot,
little.
I feel it too. I when you
Mhm. And I'm still wondering if
Whew.
Dimitri is coming off like that senior role, or is she's attracted to him, but she don't know about Dimitri yet either. She likes him, but she's like, Dimitri
Mhm.
might break my heart. So let's see where is it going. So I do
Yep.
think he was locked in too early, and now he knows a little bit more how to move. But you see that the way he's talking to her is not the way he talked to Joy about kidneys and the whole thing. He's really interested.
No. He like he's that's why I'm kind of like, as far as his personality, I'm a little confused because like we see a different Tory with every person that he's with. When he's with Ace, he's doing the poetry and the rhymes. When he's with Joy, he's talking about kidneys. When he's with Sabrina,
I don't
he's
think
cool and laid back. So I'm like, I don't
I
know.
don't think that
I don't
he's
know.
interested in Joy. I don't think that he was. I think that it was just a conversation, and I think that he was just being like, stupid. But and with Ace, I think that Ace gives off, and we've talked about this before. Like she's constantly mellow for for other reasons. So I
Yeah,
think that
they
he,
look good together though. I don't know if it's because they both got protective styles, but when they were
okay,
together, I was like, this they look good.
that's the
But
only. That's what I thought. I said it's just. I said they're cute, but I think they actually, to me, I think they look good together. I think Joy and Tori, I think it's because of their protective styles. That's what I was like. Is it because of their hair? That's, I literally, I was like,
right, I was like,
in there.
this would make a good photo.
Hold on. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, hold on. Make
You
sure.
done jumped all
I
over the
totally jumped.
thing.
I totally jumped. Hold on. I need mouse control. I was actually wait. What did Jeremy saying? Sabrina is putting on. This is what I was reading while I started jumping. Putting the men against each other. I guarantee it won't work with Dimitri. He gives her no effort. He's only going after her because Tori wants her. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. So I know you had something to say about this. I want you to go ahead, but about this date, this Tina and Donovan date.
Well, what I said on my initial review was, because this is just my own personal feelings. It has nothing really to do with them as a connection or whatnot. But I'm like, I'm a single mother, and I don't like when men off the bat are just like, "So how's your daughter? So what did she do today?" So like just asking questions. I'm like, pump the brakes, and we'll get to my daughter when we like develop an actual connection and have some, like, what do you call it, commitments there. Then we'll talk about my daughter. But what is his name, J-Dub, he came in my comments and he was like, I think the reason Donovan did that is because she's leading with the child. Like that's all she talks about, type of thing. So therefore, that's kind of like the only thing he has to talk to her about. So I was like, I get that too, but I have had that when I'm like in the talking stage where they're like, so how's your daughter? And then some people say, well, it's a bad thing if they don't ask about your children. But I'm like, I just don't want to talk about my child with you just yet. Like, let's just get to know each other. But that's my opinion. But she, of course, loved it because because it seems like she's just there to get her sponsor, her Russell Wilson, stepdaddy of the year. I don't know. So it is what it is. But
So I hear you on this, and but I also think that at the retreat that they must have had a long conversation about children, but not just about children. I feel like they had just they started talking. I think that he introed with "How's your daughter?"
oh, but
because
I'll add
they
too, he's
talked
a
at the
father,
retreat.
so that makes
He
sense too.
he is the
He is a
father,
father,
so
so that
they
makes
and
sense.
they both have the daughters are both Geminis and everything. How did he know that unless they had had a previous conversation? So I think that it started with "How's your daughter?" on this date, but at the retreat, it just gave me an impression that they had had at least two other conversations about life, about whatever, because they also started talking about dream boards, which it didn't seem like he was super interested in that, but it seemed like they were interested at first, and then he said, well, can we do a dream board together and stuff like that at the top of the year? So it seemed like they've been talking for, they've had a couple of conversations. I was going to say talking for a while, but we know they weren't talking for a while because they just met. But they've been talking for at least a couple more conversations than this one. So I do hear your point that get to know me first and then ask about my daughter, but I feel like they've been getting to know each other. I actually like them together. um, I don't remember. I think he's 40 something though. I don't know
I
how,
don't
but
know. I
he's
think his
really
kids
young
are
for
grown
that.
though. I don't
Say
think he has kids like her age, like toddlers or anything.
right. I don't remember how old his kids are. I don't remember if he said that to Precious. I thought he said he had two daughters, one or two. But Precious may not have even asked how old his, because Precious
No,
was
I don't think
on
she
a
did.
different.
I really don't.
Precious was not, did not care about his children. Um, so yeah, it seemed like they had a long conversation. And she does kind of lead with that,
Those
but
words.
I also think that you have a point that she she's trying to see who can just zip right into her her family and be that daddy. So I hope, go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead and read it.
Uh, Jeremy said, I hope I'm not sounding rude, but why come to a dating show when you just had a baby a year and a half ago? I would imagine you would want to focus on the child mainly. This show seems like a big commitment. That's a fair point.
It is a fair point. That is a fair point. And I also think that like them bringing Wiley, I don't know that he phrased it like that. They didn't bring Wiley or bring her for Wiley, but girl, are you past the fact that your man is
Mhm.
toxic? She kept saying when Wiley asked about the previous relationship, being that her daughter is two, she said toxic, and then she said toxic again.
Yeah.
To Jeremy's point, is she ready? Is she ready to love? Go ahead.
She ready for her sponsor.
Mhm.
But David said, I get what you mean, Misha. Sometimes guys do that if they want to go further romantically, but need to look forward topics to talk about with you. So yes, it's an easy out. That's what I
Yeah.
feel. That's what I really feel like. And I feel it with some guys. Like they're just trying to ask to like to get the brownie points. Like, okay, ask about her
Mhm.
daughter.
That's
Okay, I'm
interesting.
getting in there. I'm getting good with her. And
Mhm.
that's one of the main reasons why I don't like men asking me that too soon.
Get to know
But
each
yeah, I do
and
feel that. Like they feel like it's brownie points if they ask or if they make a certain comment or buy the kid a gift, a
right.
lollipop.
Don't want a child to give.
Child,
I definitely wouldn't want to give, especially for just getting to know each other. But asking about her is fine, and that's why I asked the question like last night in on Kojo's show because and everybody was like, "Oh no, they need to ask." I think that that is a good time, good for them to ask the question and talk about my child, but don't buy my child a gift. Yeah, to Crystal's point, I'm not sure if she's ready, but she's looking right. Um, What did Jeremy say? She just got out of an emotionally abusive relationship while having a baby out of wedlock. Ain't no way she ready to love. She ready to heal. Okay, I hear you.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that she came on looking for a stepfather for her child. She led with that almost every time she had a date. At least that's what they were
I'm
showing.
sorry, I
You
just read Miss
exactly
Creative's comment.
where Miss Creator say. Go ahead and read it.
She said, like, let me come cut your grass, fix your sink, bring the kids some chips so I can get some boo boo. That's what it like.
I
There's
hear you.
really men that think that way. So
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Uh-oh. Now we're about to see. I need mouse control.
oh
Okay. I
child.
knew, and that's what I knew we were about to say. I said, uh-oh, now we're about to see this. So go ahead, because you had a great point on your show the other night. But
this this backs my point that I said at the beginning of the live. Like it's almost like she like sits around like who has the like top connections. Oh, Joy and Clifton, let me go talk to Clifton. Clifton, hold my hair. And then with the Kia, the girl, the D girl, she goes over to her and Eric when they're in the kitchen. The truth or dare game. Christina makes it known that Paul is her top connection. And so Carmen comes with her A game, like, well, this is our date, and I just want to make sure that I look nice and look good. And I'm like, girl, I'm 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 clocking Carmen. I see it.
okay, I'm gonna start with Paul. I'm gonna start with Mr. Popo. And you said it the other day. Excuse me. This man said when she walked in, I was like, wow, she looks good, but I'm not gonna objectify her. And then you gonna do, well, I could give you my pickle. What?
You want my pickle? I'm
You want
like,
my
what?
pickle? Eh, what? So you're not gonna objectify her, but then you're gonna do this. And what's interesting, unless they cut it out, which doesn't make any sense for them to do, she intentionally wore that dress so to look good, right? And then he didn't, she said, oh, you look nice. And he did not compliment her. You see later on that he complimented Tina. But he didn't say, oh, you look nice too. I noticed
Mm-hmm.
that. So they had a good conversation, but I also remember her when she walked in saying, I've known Paul for a while, but we've never gone out on a date. What did Josie say? Go ahead.
Hmm? Oh, I wasn't trying to cut you off. You can complete your
Okay,
thought.
what did Josie say?
I
Go
was
ahead
just
and read
putting
it.
it. But Josie said Carmen wants everyone to want her instead of just letting things flow. She seems a little desperate.
I agree. I'm sorry. And y'all know I have issues with Miss Carmen. I just said Mr. Carmen. I'm so sorry. I have issues with Carmen. But but I do have to say this. I did like her on this date, as you see. this date was a lot different than her date with Laverne. I feel like this was
Mm.
more her. This was more,
Oh, she was more softer.
yeah.
Okay.
She didn't have it. Now I get that the first date was, and she was trying to come off a certain way, but she with the force field coming around her chest that says powerful, and then the blue eye contacts and everything. That was her. That was her representative. I think that this is probably her a little bit more. Go ahead. What did David say?
No,
Oh,
I get that point. I definitely see that too. I like when Paul said, Carmen just got when you look in her eyes, you just want to give her your credit card. You just want to sign over the deeds to your house. And I was like, Carmen, do a webinar. I will pay. Show me the look. Show me the look I need to give. What am I not doing?
it's this with the scene earlier. It's that look. She thinks she's being seductress with. Oh goodness. What did David say? Oh, Carmen was just there to compete and piss off the ladies, not look for real love. Yep. Um,
Mhm.
I'm about to go. Go ahead. Go. Are you going to Jeremy's comment?
You can go ahead.
I don't know. Y'all know we like to read the comment. I'd rather just
He
ask the
said,
phone
I
than
read.
let
Okay.
Paul crummy his fingers, cruddy his finger, put a pickle in my mouth. What is his sex appeal? They see in him. I don't know. Honestly, Jeremy, I said the same thing earlier when what's her name put her hands on his shoulders. I don't get it. I don't see it. And honestly, I just also don't way he talks, he's like, oh, I'm PO. This whole thing that he likes to do, because I always deliver. Stop. Yeah. What did your creative say? The picture reminds me of the residents in assisted living for old people with dementia.
You know what?
Getting, I'm done. Getting fed by the nurse. That's hilarious. That's creative.
It's the power of the beauty store Twilight contacts hypnotizing him.
Yep.
And Z says Christina has the beauty store contacts too.
Yes,
She
but then,
does, but it's not, but they're hazel or something.
yeah, you
So
said that
it's
you might
not
have got those
as
from an actual doctor.
noticeable. Yeah, but Carmen had them 3.99 indigo blue, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Um, honestly, I feel like Carmen should stick with Paul though, with PO. If she wants to stick around, yeah. Okay.
She'll stay where the competition is.
Right.
So
Because next week she's going out with Eric. So this is Mr. Laverne and Shirley on Ace's lap. Go ahead.
this was so cringy and forced to me. I was just like, it seemed very strategic. It didn't seem genuine. It didn't seem natural. It was like, I need to reassure Ace, here I go. And it was like, what? It was weird. Like, I was just so annoyed with it because it just seemed like it was so calculated. It was, yeah.
I agree. It did seem forced. I'll be so honest with you, because it seemed like they were having a casual conversation about the weather. But let me put my hand on your knee to let you know I'm interested. So just have a conversation. Or what did you eat today? It just seemed like he's like, so what did you eat today? Where'd you go to lunch? Let me put my hand right here, so it appears that we're having a deep conversation. So
Yes.
I just didn't understand where what he was doing with that. Yeah, but Laverne's very problematic. We're going to talk about him later with
Hmm.
Precious. So okay, let's get into this, Chindy. Is DC so late in fashion, or they ate trying to bring back colored contacts? Yeah, I don't. Or they're trying to
I don't
bring
know
back
if it's
colored
the
contacts. I
age.
have not
Like,
seen colored contacts since 2000. Like, what is why? Why are you doing this?
see them on Instagram, but I see the updated ones. And I don't know where they're getting these beauty store contacts from. I don't know. At least they're not selling them out here in the beauty stores anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't understand. But I also like some of the fashions too on this show. Like Tiffany's exit interview looked like an 80s skirt. I was like, what are y'all doing?
Who's Tiffany?
Tiffany, the
Who's
first girl,
Tiffany?
the one that she was like, I don't want to hug. I was like, what is she wearing? You know, don't worry.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Mhm. Vern is not ready to love. Yeah, I don't like Vern. Love Vern, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Vern is ready to
Laverne
talk
is ready to talk
about
about
And
himself.
so we have not yet. We're gonna get into, the bubble date in a second, but he is so into Ace, but have they had a one-on-one date yet? No, or unless they've had it, but they didn't show it. But
Right.
to the point, why haven't they showed it? If he thinks that she's Obama, Beyonce, Oprah, all wrapped into and Jill Scott all wrapped into one, why haven't they even showed it? Even if it was a bad date,
You
why
know what,
show it?
Shindy?
What is Cindy saying? Ace had on her church secretary skirt, and then she tried to twerk in it, and yeah.
I
Deverne,
definitely agree. We'll get into the convo that he had with Christina, but I was
yeah,
just like, what is the point? Like,
I
where are
just
you going with this?
right. I just think that he was like talking about lunch, but let me put my hand on her knee, um, to act like I'm doing something. Yeah, this is that is that yeah that's Ace.
Listen, it was well when she was struggling with the two-step, I thought she was just gonna stop there. But then
Right.
she tried to go into a full-on twerk. And then you hear Laverne like, slow it down, don't. I was like, what is happening?
I think she's gonna break a hip. Stop her! Somebody stop her!
But she just kept going, and then Takia did not have to egg her on like that. The twerk queen, look at the twerk queen.
I agree.
No,
I was like, the kid. I said, this is so problematic to watch. I can't watch it anymore. Y'all, um, that twerk wasn't twerking. Please, it was shaking. Like, what exactly is that? I agree. What are you doing? Stop it. And he
it was like every dance she did though, it was like only the top part of her body would move, the
mhm.
lower part wouldn't. And somebody came in my life and said, as a yoga instructor, how is she this stiff?
Right. Yes, exactly. I don't know who that was, but they're right. What is happening? Yeah, and it's one thing to feel embarrassed, but I cannot say, I will say that sometimes the producers will ask you to do something, but they didn't ask you to do that. They didn't. Mm-mm.
She said she was cutting the rug, and that's exactly what it looked like.
Then they did the old school Caribbean win. What?
Child, I don't know what. I don't know.
That is so funny. Okay. Vern. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like, what is he was just loud and wrong. Like he's like,
Mhm.
Gary in the Indiana, we in the South. No, that is not the South. And then he's the king of R&B. The king of R&B is from Gary Indiana.
I
No,
said I
no,
had a
Michael
visceral
Jackson was the
reaction.
king of pop.
I said Michael Jackson is the
Michael
king of pop.
Jackson was not R&B. He was not R&B.
I said no wonder
He had
she.
one R&B song, Butterflies. That was it.
I
It's
had a
not
visceral reaction,
R&B.
y'all. I said, Michael Jackson is the king of pop. I like yelled at my TV. I said, no wonder she can't get it because she don't know who the heck you talking about.
I'm like, what?
And he
Usher?
was so
Bobby
adamant.
Brown? Like, who is?
When somebody is so adamant and they're wrong, like Now you better the one person, you better get it
But
right.
he
You better
was
get it right.
that's what's so annoying. I hate when people do that. He presented himself like he knew what the heck he was talking about. I'm like, you're not making no sense. You don't know what you're talking. Not the FUBU dress. Lord. But hey, I think she was trying to manifest what she looking for. Look, she looking for the social security number, the credit card, the amen. She is looking for the dollar bill, y'all. So I think the outfit was a little. It looked a little 1999-ish,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I
It
don't know.
wasn't, but I was like, okay, if that's what she's going for, okay, I get it. And who just said Luther Van Chindy? If she had said Luther Vandross, I would have been like, okay, that makes some that makes sense because he just said R&B. But there is no way she was gonna get the answer because you're wrong. You're wrong. But the look on his face, he's like, I'm trying to relate to her. I'm trying to, I used to bodybuild and like he was really trying to like prove himself or something to her. It was a lot.
He was doing exactly what he did with Joy when he was like, "Oh, I'ma just throw this out at Joy, and if she bite back, if she responds to it, that means she likes me." I think that's what he was doing with her, but she's like, "No, what you're saying isn't making any sense." So
Mm-mm,
it is what it is. It's
mm-mm. And even she got put off by it. Or so this is
hmm
the third woman that's been put off by it. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, I need mouse control. Okay. um the Wiley, he's not smiling in this picture, but this was his date with Tia, right? And he sounded
yes.
like he was really concentrating, really listening, going on her
Mm.
every word. And she asked him, "Do you think that you are making moves? Do you think that you're putting that effort in?" He said, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I am. I'm putting the effort in." But so she said that I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to say it. But we've just decided that you're not ready to love. I do think that he took the news very good, very well, and he said, "Okay," and he just left.
He looked annoyed to me. Like I don't know if he was really hearing that, like hearing it or getting, because I think
I
because
do
I
think he was
what
surprised.
I feel is that if he's being told things about his age from day one, so I
Mhm.
feel like on episode 5 now, it's kind of like a broken record. And Diki was trying to explain it to him, and he was like, "Yeah." He kind to me, it seemed like he had a little bit of a like, "Yeah, I know," like a "Yeah, I know" kind of attitude. But I don't know if he fully gets it. Like he keeps saying, like, "Oh well, yeah, I'm gonna put myself out there more, blah blah blah. I should have spoke or shoulda, woulda, coulda." But now you gotta go home. I wasn't even.
It's too
I was
late for
just like,
that.
"Bye, Wiley, go and try,"
I don't
because
think
it
I
wasn't
I think he was a little surprised because as we said earlier, who was it? Jonesy? I don't remember who said it, but I think it was Chindy. I don't remember. That usually, he gets dates and he's not somebody that's
right.
so I think he was a little surprised, but I do think he took it well. He didn't look annoyed to me. We're gonna go to the next person who definitely was annoyed. Um, but he didn't seem annoyed to me. He didn't seem annoyed to me. Oh, see. Okay. I have so much. Yeah. What kind of bubble date was this? First of all, and I said this about last season with Sia, I said, I don't Precious was not the one to go on a date with, to do this. Precious was not the one to do this. Um, but
She had
this
a good point
man,
though.
no, no, no. She said that the what do you call it? The truth or dare was messy. I don't think that that was up to him though. I think that just like remember with the retreat with what's her name? Aisha said, she said that the producers asked me to introduce the game or introduce the conversation. I believe that they just said, hey, y'all, let's play truth or dare. I don't, that was, they told that man to say, let's play truth or dare. And other people started saying, well, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that. I honestly don't think that that really had anything to do with him. Now, him as a person and how he acted in Laverne being Laverne, I honestly don't think the truth or dare game itself had anything to do with Laverne. I don't think that was
It was more of her point of like the fact that he jumps in and jumps out when he feels like it, and instead of being all in the process, like that would like she was like, for the truth or dare game, you jump back in the process and you were all in it when it was time to be messy, but then when it's time to connect with the other women, you jump out. So I thought that was like a good point, and he couldn't see it, but I thought it was, she was head on with that. I'm like, mm,
um I didn't think so. I didn't think that was her point. I didn't think that point. And he even said that truth or dare game had nothing to do with me. But I do think his attitude and him saying
mm-hmm,
that I don't trust you people, that you guys have been, I didn't he say lying? Because I actually just rewatched it and he said,
right,
um the reason why I won't let you guys in, she's like, it's coming off guarded. Now that I agree with her on. It's coming off guarded, and you not trusting everybody, you're putting up walls and all of these things I definitely think he was very agitated, and the way he was coming off was totally rude and wrong. But I do want to go to the deliberation with the ladies. And did we have a picture of that? No, we don't. Okay.
no,
Okay. Okay. The deliberation with the ladies. Um, what was it last week? Carmen said that he gets angry on the phone. And then this week it was somebody, was it Takia or someone said that when the negativity comes in, and
mhm,
his attitude here. I said something is happening behind the scenes. I don't know if it's
yeah,
from him or somewhere. Um, but I also think that what I was saying earlier is that this man, he is used to, like Sabrina said, men want the women to come to them. I absolutely said him, Demetrius, and a little bit of Wiley are used to women coming to them. But
mm-hmm,
something's happening behind the scenes because this is the second or third person that has called this man negative, angry, um, just him, yeah, just his attitude, his personality, the way he comes off. It's just seeming like something is going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing. That's what I think. But I also think that him saying you guys aren't just the words he was using, I said, oh, something's happening that we're not seeing.
I think that's, he was kind of telling on himself. I think that's
It might
his
be.
outlook on women in general and dating in general. And that's probably why he hasn't had, what did he call it, a normal relationship or a traditional, I think he said traditional relationship. Because if you look at all women, like, I can't trust them, blah, blah, blah. And it might be him projecting his own insecurities because he was in the military. You know how military men get around. So he's probably projecting the things he did to women on women, saying they, like, I can't trust them type of thing. I just think he's projecting, and it's just an excuse. And I think it's an
Um,
excuse for him being so closed off because oh Lord, sorry, you do see you do see a difference in his attitude from when he's playing the truth or dare game, where he's all in, he's all alert, to when he's at the pool party and I'm just taking it in. I'm just getting vitamin D. You do see like a difference in his behavior, which makes me think maybe he's another one of these emotionally unavailable men because, yeah, this ain't it.
I agree with you about the emotionally unavailable, but it's so funny. Um, I do think it's coming from him. I do think that either whatever he's saying or doing off screen or to these ladies and these phone calls, I think that he has. because he said Carmen said he's been very angry, and when the anger comes in, and then somebody else said negative, and then the way he acted tonight. And you were talking about the truth or dare game. He introduced the truth or dare game, but then I saw Donovan speak up. I saw one of the ladies speak up and ask the questions. I hardly saw him. I almost think that because
But
he's so
you
aloof,
do see the difference. He was into it. Like he was willing to be a part of that. But when there's other things that he needs to be a part of, you
the
see him pull back.
I think the aloofness and
So,
the messiness, I think that he's got a little bit of Carmen in him, and the aloofness and the messiness. I think that production was probably like, we hardly see this man. Like, so let's give him some airtime. I think something else is going on. I'm sorry. This anger, just they were just using words like his negativity and his anger. I said, what is he actually saying to them? Is more than just being aloof and putting up walls and insecurities. He's saying something. Yeah, Joni said he's aggressive. When he's getting all of the attention, he's different. Right. He's when he doesn't when he has to prove himself, or when he actually has to make the effort, excuse me,
right,
and like on these phone calls, however he came off to come a couple of these women off camera, um, I think it's saying something. I think there's more going on behind the scenes. I'm sorry, because just using the word like angry and negative and just certain words that they've been using, and then how he
right.
acted here, I'm like, it's not that serious. And then when old girl said, but because it's almost like, remember how Paul acted before she was able to say, we still want to keep you around.
Mhm.
And honestly, Precious should not do any more bubble dates. First Paul, now, yeah, I agree, Joseph. He doesn't make any efforts. He should be next to go home.
He won't be though. He'll get
No.
saved and saved like Paul, like Precious, because he does bring an entertainment factor that people want to see. So I think he's gonna stay for a long because he's kind of like the villain in a sense. Like he has like some of the women are like you see a like a I hate Laverne group going on every time they put the camera on him. I don't like him. He just think he all that. Nah, nah. Like he already
Yeah, the
got
whispers behind the scene.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they keeping him.
But if he doesn't make any connections sooner or later, he's gotta go. Just like oh boy, Mr. Heisman Trophy over here. Like, you're not making any connections. You're just like, they gotta get him. They gotta. This is so
Right.
funny. Gary Indiana is the king of R&B. No, he's not. So, but he got very defensive very quickly, and I'm wondering if that's how he's coming off camera, because these ladies are saying these type of things way too much. They should take all of the pickles out of the store behind the pickles. um, yeah, who said that she's got sugar baby syndrome or sugar baby energy? Manny said Carmen has sugar baby energy written all over her. That is hilarious.
Hmm.
If you don't have a Jonesy,
You know what?
Vern probably still thinks Washington's still the president. I'm done. I honestly, there's some issues there. Like, because I don't trust none of y'all. And did he say none of y'all females, or none of you, any of them? I don't think he likes anybody. I think behind the
I
scenes.
feel like it was a general statement.
Yeah, I thought it was a general
I
statement too.
took it as a general statement because that would make more sense, like for that to be his belief on all women, for like the fact that he's never had a traditional relationship. So,
Hmm.
hmm.
And him being so into Ace, but then we haven't actually
She
seen
don't
him.
challenge him. She don't say like
No, Ace is
she
very.
zen and peaceful, going with the flow. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's not, does he want a challenge though? I think maybe he wants a docile woman and he's not getting it from this cast.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think he says certain things to sound good to him, or he thinks sound good. Like when he was saying the whole "I want an alpha woman," I think he thought that sounded good, but when he actually got one, he fumbled that. So I really, and you see his top connections are not alpha women. So I really don't think that's like what
I
he wants or what he can tolerate. I'll say that.
Well, I agree with you on that because I think he just said that because Carmen had that force field going around her chest that said powerful. I think that he he wants somebody like Ace, but he won't get it. I think he wants somebody's more calm and peaceful that he can carry on
Mhm.
his arm. He was
Right.
sitting there with um baby Jesus. He was sitting there with the blue eye bandit, and he said, "Let me say that that's what I want." I don't see it. Although Ace was trying to come out of her shell, although Ace was trying to come out of her shell, she's still very reserved. Oh yeah, she's very reserved, but I don't even know that it's reserved. I do definitely think she's just quiet. I don't know who does even
Mhm.
Ace have connection with. I'm gonna get him on the
Who?
screen. Ace. Who does Ace have a connection
She
with? Oh,
said Laverne and
she said
Tori.
Laverne. She did. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't have nothing.
Mm-mm. She said Laverne. This is her connection. Y'all, um, I'm wondering if he's next to go. Well, who do y'all think who predicting who's next to go to the
Because
ladies?
it's women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get it. I don't even know who all the women are. So
Okay, so let's go
maybe
back.
Precious.
I think well, y'all know I'm surprised that she's still there, so that's the look right there.
Because the other women seem to have more solid connections at least. Precious, I don't think Precious has a solid connection with anyone.
I don't think you're right. Precious and Ace do not have a solid connection, but I don't see
Ace
them.
has this, she has Tori and
Oh, so,
Laverne.
oh, I was
Them
about to say
poems, them
Tori.
rhymes is working on Ace.
Right. No,
So,
you do
but
have a
then
point.
we see in the previews that like Precious and Tori they spin the block on each other and they end up kissing. So I don't know. Maybe that might save. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's going home.
You do have. I forgot that Ace and Tori were talking in the little hammocks. I'm actually surprised because that's the only real scene that we saw of them. So I didn't think that that was anything big, but maybe.
She said his
She
name
still
in
likes
the
Vern.
deliberation,
Yeah,
so
she said his name
it's
during the
obviously
liberation.
working somehow. Some
Jonesy says Tina should be next to go home. Um, Precious
hmm.
needs to go. I agree with Kimberly. I thought she was going this week, as y'all know. Chindy is saying Precious. I don't understand. We were saying this early. Why she's still hoarse? I don't understand why she has not cleared up her throat.
I'm starting to think it's a natural horse. Like some people, they get hoarse easily,
Yeah.
or they just have like a overly raspy voice. I don't know. Yeah,
No, I
that's
agree with you. I thought of that too. I was like, maybe it's just the way her voice is. Sometimes they do that. Carmen, or I forgot the girl. I forgot her name. That's between
Sabrina.
Tori and Dimitri. Yeah, Sabrina.
Wow. But I think
Really?
that's Demetrius's only connection,
Yeah.
though.
No, they're not going to kick Sabrina off because now that they're seeing like a little love triangle, they need they need the airtime. She got Macy gray eyes. That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Ace is quiet for the show. That's why I keep forgetting about her connections. That she did say Tori, and she did say I knew she said Laverne, but I don't think I just don't make anything of it. She seems like she's so disconnected at times. Yes. Um Precious may stay in the game though, because if you notice, she's gonna clean
Mm,
up her act and be more of what the guy's trying to tell her.
right.
It won't be
We
natural.
did see that this
I did
episode.
see that.
And she's swinging from tree to tree back to Tori. So it she must be listening to something. So but like she's saying it's not genuine because it's like you're just trying to stay in the game at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that now that Tori saw how Sabrina was moving, he was like, and next week that's when nephew Tommy says, take out your second choice or take out, the somebody else that you're interested in. So Tori asked Precious out, but I don't know. I don't he likes Sabrina. That's it. That's it. I agree. It's not natural. It's not natural for her to act like that. The guy's like
I
Ace's
think
aura.
I don't know if it's I think they take her quietness as passiveness. And I think a lot of the men they don't want to be challenged. They want to come as they are and you accept what I'm giving you type of thing. So that's what I think
Hmm.
it is with Ace. They feel like I can keep doing what I've been doing and you're not going to do nothing about it. So,
I will give you this, Mimi, her because it's the softer look of her makeup. It's not so harsh. But it's so interesting that you said that more docile, more quiet person. I definitely think that's what it is with Laverne, that he wants somebody that's just a more quiet person. But I also think Ace is kind of the opposite of Ace is the female version of Dimitri, whereas she's so quiet and pulled back. She gives us this air of mystery, and they're attracted to that. They're like, why is she so quiet? Just like when Clifton, if a guy was sitting by himself, there we're all getting together, and a guy went over to the bar and sat by himself, would a female, maybe a female might walk up to him. I won't say that, especially this day and age. But when Ace went and sat by herself, Clifton made sure that she was okay. He made sure that, I feel like that air of mystery that kind of still keeps them interested. It's just like I said with Dimitri. He
yeah.
he's introvert, he's quiet. They consider that, oh, what's behind him? Why is he not talking? They want to pull it out of him. Stop doing that.
I think with Dimitri, he's more of a Laverne. Like he wants women to come to him. Because it's like when they do come to him, like with Precious, he gave her that kind of condescending tone. So he, I think when he does that, it's more of a bait. Like, let's see who will talk to me or kind of like AJ. Like I call him AJ's evil twin.
No,
AJ sat around doing the same thing, and that was a lot of the woman's complaint is he's just not pursuing anyone.
no,
So
understand me. Understand me. I think I agree with you that that's why Dimitri is doing it.
mhm,
But I think that to
she
Sabrina,
she perceives it as him being an introvert, and I don't think
they don't think that's what
it's
it is.
right.
I think he's trying to have them come to him, and he's playing the game and stuff like that. But
Because
women,
I'm yep.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I think that just like Ace, oh, why is she so quiet? Just like Laverne has wrapped her up in like three three martyrs, or all these martyrs. I'm like, listen, she's a quiet lady. She's got a lot going for her. She's not Oprah, Jill Scott, Beyonce, and Michelle Obama. Relax.
That's
But
a lot.
that is a lot. That's a lot on her shoulders, literally. So, the fact that he gives her all of that
I'm
tells
sorry.
me he
I just
thinks,
had a twerking flashback.
yeah,
Lord.
gives her all of that tells me he has this idea that she is something that she's not. Oops, no, I didn't go. Yeah, it tells me that she's not, and yeah, people, Laverne thinks he's one thing, just like Sabrina thinks he's this mysterious guy and he's all pulled back. I don't think that's what it is. But that's what that's the perception. That's what I think.
I agree.
Carmen gonna stare you into a relationship. That's hilarious, Chelsea. Yeah, this was yeah, we're gonna this it looks like they're gonna mix it up next week, y'all. They're about to mix it up. They're about to see what changes. Dr. Amadi's
Slow it down. Slow it down.
and Nakia was like
She was, oh my
egging her
God. She was,
on. I was like, stop egging her on. Yo.
I was like, what?
Mm-mm.
And she just kept going. I was like, my goodness. The twerk. Lord, that was hilarious. I
Yeah,
can't.
somebody saying you're live, like, how are you gonna be a yoga instructor and you can't even move your hips? What
Stiff
is
as
happening?
a board. I was like, what is happening?
Mm, mm-mm. She about to get paralyzed. Um, I don't. We didn't get the picture of
I
the
can't.
partner spirit. We didn't get the picture of the deliberation, but it was so funny how you were just said something about Carmen that she's interested because other women are. She was all into Clifton. I don't think she asked anybody else to hold her hair. But then as soon as she was like, well, I was into Clifton, but as soon as I saw her, um, as soon as I saw Clifton and Joy's relationship, I decided to pull back. Motrin, oh yeah, she probably took something stronger than Motrin. Mm-mm. You would not take her anywhere but the strip club. She got a twerk in her spirit. She's been
Mm-mm.
doing good. She's been doing good. And whose live was that they were saying? Do you think that she's like just smoking something or something? She's just very zen the way she talks, which is not. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just like, hmm. Until she got down there to twerk, everybody had this one perception of her. Yep. I just want to my last words is Michael Jackson is the king of pop. He is not the king of R&B.
Not R&B. And Gary, Indiana is not in the South. It's not.
Gary, yes,
It's the
and that
Midwest.
Gary, Indiana is not in the South. I don't know. Laverne's not trying. He doesn't care. It's all of the things, y'all. This season, although I think this season is better than because I think there's minimal behind the scenes crap happening. I do think Laverne's given some behind the scenes crap, but I don't think there's as much as last time. Y'all, party girl A. Something's up patiently waiting her story. Have we
Yeah, we
seen
all want to know Ace's story. Like,
have we seen any one-on-ones
we're
with Ace? Do you remember any
her
one-on-ones with
and
Ace?
Cornbread, but
Cornbread had a one-on-one with her?
when he first, that was his first date.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Hmm.
That's all I remember. That was the only one. Mm.
I guess we'll have to wait or wait for her interviews, or I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
it. We're gonna have to see because I'm just wondering, and that's another thing I brought up in Kojo's live the other night. I was like, well, wait a minute, when are they meeting the friends? Like, shouldn't this be happening in the next 2 or 3 episodes?
Well, it's not next episode. We know that.
That's
So,
true. I don't see any well, I don't see any real connections, is what I was gonna say, but I guess I see two. I see two. Clifton and Joy for sure. And then I guess Dimitri and Sabrina. That's it. Y'all, this was fun. Thank y'all for joining us. We will
yes, thank y'all for tuning in and keying with us. We'll be
yeah,
back next Sunday. Make sure you like and subscribe.
please, yes, please subscribe to Crystal and on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Misha Allen on YouTube. Yeah, this was fun, and we'll see you next Sunday. See you next Sunday.